Well, unexpectedly, tonight we are camping next to the customs house at the Kazakh-Kyrgyzstan border. We got here a few hours ago.
At 3 o'clock?
Yeah, thinking we would cruise on through and be in Kyrgyzstan mountains by now. But there was something wrong with our customs paperwork from Russia, which they didn't tell us when we entered Kazakhstan. So now we have to stay here, and tomorrow we're going back to Almaty because I have to go to court, which might be interesting. None of us really know how this has happened, so we're going to the consulate in the morning, and a lady from the consulate is coming with us. Bit of a nightmare, really. So it could be my last night as a free man. So, as I'm sure you'll all be very pleased to know, I'm still a free man, but the last couple of days has been an interesting one. As you know, we were detained at the border, the Kazakhstan-Kyrgyzstan border, overnight, and then at 5 o'clock in the morning we had to drive back to Almaty with a customs agent in the car. It was still dark and the roads are terrible, so that was a bit of a nightmare. But he couldn't speak a word of English, so I amused myself by cussing him to his face. Then we spent the whole day in the customs office with this guy called Ali, who was kind of pretending to be on our side, but when he was speaking in Russian, he was referring to me as the person who did something wrong, and to the car as contraband, so that was a bit scary. But then yesterday, I went to court. That was kind of a freaky experience. It was full-on like TV show court. There was a judge who was this really scary Asian lady who looked like a drawing of an angry person. My court-appointed lawyer was some middle-aged hippie in a flowing skirt and a see-through top who we had met earlier giving our friend an Indian head massage in the street. And she answered her mobile phone during the court proceedings, which was quite comedy because she leaned down under the table like this. Yeah, I'm in court. I'll give you a ring back. All right, cheers. The whole thing was a joke. The prosecutor was this young, hot girl who strolled in 5 minutes late and barely looked up from her mobile phone at all, except to say that I had done something wrong and should be punished, and then went back to texting her friends. Yeah, like I had to tell the whole story in front of the judge and the prosecutor, but luckily our lovely friend Svetlana, I won't say what her job is because she was doing something she wasn't supposed to, but she really helped us out, so I don't want to get her in any trouble. But if you're watching, thank you very much, Svetlana. As to the actual problem, it turns out that our customs documents for Russia are also our customs documents for Kazakhstan, because they have this kind of customs union thing. But nobody ever told us this. All the paperwork was in Russian. The date of our document matched the date of our visa for Russia, so it seemed perfectly fine to us. They checked our documents coming into Kazakhstan, and nobody told us anything until we tried to leave. So that was about the end of it. They made me pay lots of money after threatening to take Betty from me, but they thought that was a bit excessive, as did I. The whole thing was a farce. No one seemed to really know what they were doing. Just as I started telling the story, the judge made me stop and asked if I respected her and the court. I bit my tongue, but managed to say yes, I did, of course. And in the end, it all kind of worked out all right. I had to pay a couple of $100 and they let me go. I'm still allowed back in the country, and Betty is still with us. So in the end, it was all right.